This view behind me is a little chaotic, but it kind of explains how things are going lately in my life. And if you haven't been following me on Instagram, I did dye my hair blonde. I am still not quite in love with it yet. Point of this video is I wanted to show you some of the things that I've been working on / not working on as readily as I probably should, to try to motivate myself to actually finish them. First thing we're going to talk about really quickly is my temperature blanket, because that ends up being the main reason that most of you are subscribed to me. So currently, I think I'm like 5 or 6 days behind, but I haven't talked to you, I think, since March. Let me actually check on my phone to see if I'm lying. Yeah, I haven't shown it to you since March, so let me go through January, February, March. So let me show you really quick. Here is April, starting from the bottom at the beginning of the month up through the end. It was 100% purple, and I was so happy. If you're not familiar, I will leave a link to all of my playlists about my temperature blankets. This year I am doing a chevron pattern, which you can find a link for down in the description below. That was all of April, and it was this beautiful purple monster. May was a bit more of a mess, but to be honest, like the teals and greens that I was really into finally popped up. So here is May, again, like from this hand here up to this hand. We had purples and teals going back and forth a bit, but I feel like those colors are really complementary. I believe right now this dark green is the highest temperature. We had some sweaty days this month, or last month. And right now I am finally into the beginning of June. And I haven't really talked about it too much on my channel so far, but June is going to be the last month for my temperature blanket. At least my first temperature blanket for the year. I've been planning to do a second blanket for the second half of the year. For the second half of the year, I'm going to be doing a separate blanket where I'm going to try a different pattern. I'm not going to commit to that pattern yet, because I did that several times when I was planning this one, and then we're here with chevron, which was not the original plan. The next one I have in my little ghost triangle bag here, which if you saw my most recent, or one of my most recent videos, it is just a project bag with a little handle and a zipper on the front. And I also added these cute little dinosaur pins that they're like holding books. My boyfriend Jose got me these. And in here, oh, I forgot which project it was for a second. This is a Tunisian crochet project that I was working on from this pattern from Tony from TL Yarn Crafts. To be honest, I'm not totally in love with it. It's supposed to be a bag. Her version of it was much larger, and also she was using a hook size that I don't have. And so I had to improvise, and I'm not pleased now that I'm looking back. This is a 11.5, but I believe she was using a 12. I extended it by taping like some ribbon to an 11.5, and it is absolutely hideous. It's extremely difficult to actually use this because everything gets caught right here and doesn't want to slide back because it's like a bump. The other reason again is Tunisian crochet, like here's the actual length of it, and it just curls up so fast. I feel like I'm not living up to the full potential of that yarn anyways. But that was another project that I was like really into for a second, and the reason I wanted to work on it was because I thought it was gonna be quick. I thought it was gonna be really gratifying, really fast, and I worked on it for like half an hour, and then I just put it down, and then I realized how silly it was that I don't have the needle size that she was talking about. I also have some fabric that I picked up at Joann's. I'm sorry, this isn't an active project, but I thought it was kind of cool. This is just a few pieces of fabric that I have other plans for. And the first one is it's this gorgeous like houseplant fabric, and it is a like a light canvas. And so what I wanted to do is make a bigger kind of project bag for myself with this. So I have a project to make a project bag. I also bought a bunch of this other fabric, which had finally gone to clearance. I actually have this fabric available as scrunchies on my shop, but it is pink and it just has these little bugs all over it, and it's this very nice like swishy material. And so I got a few yards of that because I want to try to make another tank top with it. I don't even know what's in some of these bags, so this might actually be a project. Phew, it's just a bag of project bags. To be honest, it's kind of a relief because I was scared that I had some big project in here that I just didn't remember existing. But I believe the last thing is actually in here amidst all this other fabric. Oh, I have 3 more projects. Ugh, okay. So the next one was a pair of socks that I was trying to like make my own pattern for. And this looks really big, but it does fit. It is just an ankle sock. So let me put my hand in it because that will make more sense. It is just an ankle sock. And then I had kind of like made my own heel. It's a little funky, it's a little wonky looking, but it does fit my foot. And I was using this gorgeous baby yarn that I found at Michael's. I think I got it on sale and I was gonna make a matching one, and then I realized that like the two patterns I was combining, I couldn't figure out how I'd alter them. So when I tried like 3 times to make a second sock and it just wasn't matching the same size. So I just took it apart 3 times and we're here now. And then the next one is this pattern that I found on YouTube and I forgot I had it going on. So I was making the first panel here, and so I was using this fabric, which is, sorry, fabric, yarn. I love this yarn, and it is in City Beat, and it's just pretty variegated. And I made this big panel that's gonna be the front, and then I just stopped, and I forgot. So I guess opening up this video was a good idea, because I need to work on that. And then the last one, I believe I've talked about in several videos now, but it is my Dinosaur sweater that I have kind of mentally given up on. So it's not very interesting, but I showed it in another video. I did make the whole back panel for this. It was going to be maroon, and it was going to have a Brontosaurus on it. For the pattern, you pretty much copy that exact same thing, except you're going to have the Brontosaurus on it. And so I have started it. I have the width, and I started to put the little tootsies, the little feet on there. And then I realized 2 things. Number 1, I've never been very good at carrying my yarn, so it's already a mess. You don't even need the camera to focus on me to know that that's a mess. That was a mess. And then number 2 was the fact that I was following 2 different parts of the pattern. They suggested using like a different version of the size of the Brontosaurus depending on how large you're making it. So I was making either the large or the extra large version of the sweater. So the pattern, like the grid that had the dinosaur on it, needed to then be the matching large or extra large version. And I was following the actual squares and everything for, I think, the small or the medium version, and it just was not going to work. And so I realized the feet were too small, they were too close together. It was going to be like a dinosaur this big on like a 2 to 3x size sweater, because I'm a very large gal, and it wasn't gonna work. And so now that it's also hot, I have lost absolutely every motivation to make that sweater. I'm so wary. I might wait until the fall again to pick it up. It's just been sitting here in this huge Joann recyclable bag because I just don't want to deal with it. And it's kind of where I'm at with all of those ones. I really haven't had too big of an urge, aside from my temperature blanket, to really work on a project for a few weeks now. The socks were going great for a little bit until I ran into the speed bump of just not knowing what happened with the original. And so I'm here. I'm a little bit slumpy with how I'm feeling about making projects. I've been trying to prioritize reading a little bit more this month, and then obviously a little bit of my mental health breakout being that I bleached my hair. So let me know in the comments if you are working on anything right now, if you have any whips, or if you're frogging anything that you're not gonna be working on anymore. I'd love to hear about anything regardless down in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.